Hello, beautiful souls. It's a beautiful day in the natural world. My name is Farah, and I like to make videos about how the feeling of the sacredness of nature within us supports and nourishes us to feel everything else we need to feel in our human experience to evolve, expand, and flourish. So today we're talking about changing our minds after we've already made a decision. Um, I wonder if you've had that experience where you sort of make a decision about something and you actually sat with it for quite some time. And you're like, yes, this is this is what I'd like to do next or not do next, or this is the choice that I'm making. And then you experience something from making that choice. And it shifts your lens, it shifts your awareness, it shifts your perspective. And in my own experience, in my own human experience, I have sometimes felt a bit of resistance around that. Like, oh, I'm not supposed to change my mind. I already made this decision about this circumstance, this life situation. I can't sort of go back on my word, whether that word or that decision or that choice was only involving me or involving others or systems. And that can bring up some, discomfort within us, right? That resistance. And sometimes make us feel stuck. At least I've definitely felt that in my life. And when I come out into the natural world, I am reminded of the flow, the natural flow of life. So right now it's sort of springy outside, so things are growing. And I'll come out here and I'll walk in the forest and something will begin to grow in one direction. And or in a certain way, and then I'll come back the next day and it's doing something else. It's growing in a different direction, it's growing a different patch of leaves in a different way, or it's like stopped growing, or it bloomed and now that's done. So there's all of these processes that are happening, and I look at the natural world and I just get that reflection back of the dynamic flow of life and how things are always changing in every moment, every day, and how all of those elements are interconnected, right? I can only imagine the microscopic level, right? Like what's happening with how the sun is, hitting this greenery or this patch of the forest, and how the water from the river nearby is nourishing this area, and how that might affect the development or the evolution of some natural form, right? The trees, the plants, the grass growing. And I get that reflection back, and then I go, oh yeah, that's who I am. I am the same as this nature. I am this dynamic being that in every moment is receiving all of these beautiful inputs from the process of life as I am in relationship with the experiences, the human experiences, whether that might be thoughts or feelings or sensory experiences. I'm always in this relationship with these elements of being within myself and within the world. And so it makes perfect sense that if I make a decision about one thing and then I experience something through the process of becoming, just like a plant would become into the next form of itself, right? The next sort of step of its evolution and its growth. It makes perfect sense that as I am becoming, there are so many different influences on the direction of that becoming, on that process, on how I'm experiencing it, on what it's going to look like. And I feel so much ease. I feel so much ease and rest receiving that feedback from the natural world. And it just reminds me of actually what a beautiful process that is. And I shift from the feeling of, oh, that's not supposed to happen, or that shouldn't be like that, to this is how life works. This is literally how life works. And this, 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 this is how life works. And so I wish this reminder for you today, this knowing of how life works. I wish for it to find you whenever you are in a moment of maybe in that experience of resistance of how decisions should be made, or how they should evolve, or the okayness of changing our minds and making a different choice when a yes becomes a no, or a no becomes a yes. And for the natural world to remind you, to remind all of us that that's okay, that is the dynamic nature of life itself.